Hey guys, this is Thinks. I know, weird name, this is a nickname I got from the random name generator within World of Warcraft Vanilla, but I think it was on a private server. In this video, I want to talk about NFTs and gaming, why most gamers are against it, what I wish they knew, and some use cases that might pop in the future. NFTs. Non-fungible tokens. Most people, for lack of research, have barely scratched the surface. They think they're just pictures, JPEGs. That's all they know. Pictures in a technology they don't understand that became popular in 2021, got overly pumped, saw ridiculous purchases of millions of dollars of worthless and low-quality art JPEGs, and then the trend died out. That's what the average Joe knows. NFTs are those pictures that people used to trade for millions, speculating, and now it's not a thing anymore. I'll give you this, I also think it's BS that people were paying millions for a picture of a rock made in paint. Or the hundreds of thousands of collections of animals with different colors and accessories where some of them became popular for no apparent reason other than some influencers hyping them. Look, in my eyes, if we're talking JPEG NFTs, unless it's actual art by a proper artist, in a digital format, it's basically worthless. But here's the first thing most don't even consider about NFTs. They're not just meant for digital art. They can have so many different use cases, and I'll get to that. Now, the gaming community in general is overwhelmingly against NFTs, and I know why. They have a very narrow view of how this technology can be implemented. They think NFTs and gaming means being an NFT monkey picture in a sports game, which makes no sense, or that all coins and games would be cryptocurrencies, and that would completely mess up games, bring in speculation, make everything pay to win, etc. So far I've seen, played, and studied a bunch of play-to-earn games, and I can tell you that even without their developers trying to design that, they're basically Ponzi's. So far, nobody has been able to design a play-to-earn game that doesn't end up imploding on itself because everyone in it is there to make more money than what they put at the beginning to enter it. It doesn't mean that it's not possible, but I personally haven't seen it yet. The only revenue mechanics that I think work for earning money through games are nothing that doesn't exist already in Web 2, tournaments, gambling, content creation, or ads. Things like that. I've played World of Warcraft since 2006, and even though I'm not that good at it, I have some achievements I like and that whenever I go back to playing it, like every 2 years or so, I like checking on them. I got this much rating that year, I earned this mount, this title, or this item. Then I've also played League since 2009, and I've got from somewhat rare skins to badges that say I was on this ranking 10 years ago. I'm proud of those. But what happens if the game servers are closed, or if I lose my account, or if the dev company bans my account? Well, you don't own them, you lose them. You never had them with you in the first place. And you might be thinking now, well, if you don't do anything bad, you shouldn't worry about that. Think about how that sounds to you. If you don't do anything they dislike, you don't need to worry. We're talking about companies making games. I'm not saying they cannot be trusted at all, but why do you need to trust you're always going to be able to access all those items and so on? Especially if you paid for them. Now, another question, why would you want to own these things? I'll get to that very soon, but first, let me tell you what NFTs actually are and how this technology can be used. NFT stands for non-fungible token. Non-fungible means that it cannot be divided in parts and that they're unique and one is not exchangeable and equal to another. On the other hand, cryptocurrencies are fungible, they can be divided in parts and can be exchanged. One Bitcoin can be exchanged for another different Bitcoin and it has the same value. Same happens with fiat money, a $1 bill for another $1 bill. An NFT is a token that holds certain records like when it was created, who created it, who is the owner, its transaction history, all of it being immutable, and a bunch of info within its metadata that can be set when it's created or minted, like decided by the creator traits or linking to a certain asset hosted wherever else. They are usually used to verify you own them and then trigger an event. For example, you connect to a site with your wallet, it sees that you own a certain thing, therefore giving you access to do something, get something, or whatever the case may be. Verifying is key to all of this. In the physical world, I would say almost anything can be duplicated and counterfeited. diplomas that are just printed papers, police badges that unless you're a police officer you can't tell if they're legit or not, a ticket to go to a concert, a dollar bill or artwork in general. If it's physical, it can be faked. In the digital realm, of course it's easier to produce duplicates. Everyone knows that. But at least there's a technology that serves solely to verify digital records. And every single application built on top of that is based around that fact. The blockchain is immutable. No block recorded can be changed, unless you have the trillions of hardware to invest into more hardware to try to control the networks of Bitcoin or Ethereum, in which case, the cost of doing that increments exponentially as you do it, so you might as well just join securing the network instead, because the incentive to do so definitely will outweigh whatever reason you had to begin with to control the network. Alright, back to gaming. NFTs and gaming. I don't have all the answers in the world, neither does anyone really, but I see two very clear use cases for NFTs and gaming. Game-ready assets and my favorite, achievements. Let's start with game-ready assets. This is very simple to understand. If developers want to give you access to owning certain assets so you can take them and use them wherever they can be used, then having them in your wallet is the way to go. Not everything goes everywhere, obviously, but as standards gain adoption, there will be more synergies happening. Right now, one that is gaining popularity that we're working on at VIPE is owning interoperable avatars so I can join as the same avatar in multiple places or use it to create content in many ways. For example, I use the VIPE Hero 475, an avatar I own myself, and I use it to join a ton of different social virtual worlds and to make content with it. I know of games that are also going with game-ready assets in the blockchain for skins for weapons, pets, animations, and assets to build environments in general. Now into achievements. Let me tell you something most people don't know. NFTs can be made non-transferable. How many people that have an opinion on NFTs do you think know about that? This type of NFTs stay in the wallet that mints it. So you can create a smart contract that mints this type of NFTs and have people use the contract to mint their own, and they won't be able to sell it. This is how a ticket that says that I went to a concert, a diploma that says that I completed a course, or an achievement in a game that says that I got up in the leaderboard can be digitally verified, kept under your custody, can't be traded, and can't be modified or erased in a centralized company database. What are the biggest opportunities around achievements being NFTs? First, the innovation comes from them being in a public ledger, the blockchain of choice, and allowing for people to build on top of that. It's nothing new that if you play a Hearthstone match you receive a mount in World of Warcraft. Now imagine that kind of interaction, but developers of any game can tap into those things. I could make an FPS game and give early access or a specific skin to players that are very good at Counter-Strike. Or if I make a pay-to-win game, so basically a mobile game, maybe it's cool that I can give some head start to whales from whatever other game to try to draw their attention. It's a way to give publicity to both the game that issued the achievement and the game incentivizing. Now, an idea for a business that could pop from these interactions. Many people are familiar with Twitch Loot, or however it's called. That section of Twitch where if you have a Prime subscription, you can collect a ton of stuff. A way larger version of it could be achieved if all game developers could participate. And with more content and offer, there's the opportunity for better customization of the things offered to you. I look at the tab that offers me stuff in different games within Twitch, and almost all of it I don't care about, because it has no idea about the games I've played and have completed achievements in. But it would be great if it was tailored to the game genres I like. It'd be an amazing way to discover new games that have a higher chance of me liking them, and also to keep me playing some others that I already know. I bet this can't succeed in 2023 and probably 2024, needs for a bunch of games to realize achievements as NFTs, and people collecting them is cool. But eventually it should. I think it makes a lot of sense. Just imagine the traffic of a website where you connect and it tells you based on your achievements of all the games you play, you might want to try these, and here's all the free stuff the developers of those games give you. Maybe it's early access, discounts, skins, or items. Last but not least, I don't expect large gaming corporations to be the ones leading the way on innovation. That's like expecting a government to implement laws that make sense to the year we're in. I think innovation will come from smaller game developers trying these things out. There's a couple of games I know of that are building serious games, and game-ready assets and achievements are in their scope of development. One reason you might have not come across them is that legit games take a while to develop, and second, you might not have many indie game studios in your radar. Most people only know about whatever the gaming corporations release, just like their opinion is solely based on whatever the influencers they like say or the larger media outlets tells them to think. Hope this video helps someone out there rethinking about these topics. I'd like to end the video telling you about what I work on. I'm the COO at Polygonal Mind and VIPE. Polygonal Mind is a creative studio that designs and develops immersive experiences and games. If you check out our projects, you might recognize some brands. Over the last 5 years, we've delivered more than 200 projects onboarding brands into about 15 different virtual world platforms. We also designed some of the most famous avatars in VR chat. Immersive experiences is the new way to generate brand awareness. Companies little by little are realizing that going all in on social media only might not be the play for much longer. Just like they don't advertise on the TV as much as they used to, or in newspapers before that. Then at VIPE, which stands for Virtual Persona, we have a digital identity platform where you can acquire 3D game-ready avatars. We got more than 250,000 avatars on board. Some are created by us and some are created by other artists. All avatars in our platform come in the VRM format, which is a file format that was created in Japan about 8 or 9 years ago. This format standardizes a humanoid skeleton, face expressions, and licenses of how an avatar can be used. It's heavily adopted in Japan in virtual world platforms and vtubing software, and there's also a bunch of applications in the West that are starting to adopt it so people can go from one place to the other wearing the same avatar, hence making it so it can be your digital identity. It's an interoperable avatar format. By the way, all these avatars are within the metadata of their own NFT so people can mint, trade, and verify ownership of them across multiple platforms. Cheers!